Hey everybody, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast. You are watching live, my friends, and today is going to be a fantastic show. I gotta be honest, Shane, it's tripping me out a little bit that you are so much lower in your seat than I am.
Yes. You got to scooch me over a little too. I got crookedized.
Uh,
Maybe I can move. No, wrong way. There we go. That's better. Yeah,
Why don't you lift your chair up a little bit? Tilt your camera down a little bit? I don't know, it's just really
nothing has
triggering me.
changed in my situation other than I changed my shirt. So I'm not wearing a Popcast shirt today. I'm wearing a Gandalf's fireworks shirt, and so it's set lower, so it looks like I'm lower today.
No, you are lower. Look at my head.
Yeah.
And look at where your head would be. See this?
All right. Well, I can tilt the camera a bit, but my chair is in the same spot.
Okay, all right.
I'm not moving my chair.
All right, that's fine. We're just going to be different sizes. Let me see if I can zoom out.
Yeah.
Maybe I can zoom out. There you go.
See, your camera's cool. It does like all kinds of fun things. Mine is like it just does what it does.
He's got the
That's
dollar store camera, everybody.
it. Hey, you do what you got to do.
All right, so what we are talking about today, just to let you know, we're talking about the deleted Batman Joker scene. Picard season 2 episode 4. That's going to be a long conversation, I'm sure. Halo. Did you say Halo series also on Paramount Plus is amazing?
It's a Showtime series, so Showtime made it. That's why you're probably tripping over it.
Oh. Also, we got a little rant coming up, which is going to be a new segment for the show. Keanu Reeves Movies being pulled from streaming services in China. Scott Bakula wanted to do Quantum Leap, but apparently NBC said nah. And we're talking about a little more One Ring to delete them all. Amazon deleting over 22,000 comments about Rings of Power. And last but not least, Obi Wan giving us a different Vader than we've ever seen before.
It's different and deeper.
Different and deeper.
It's actually pretty exciting, in a weird way.
Yeah, I couldn't find the article for the Rings of Power thing. Oh, never mind. I'm dumb. I found it.
It's okay. I do that all the time.
All right. So, yeah, that is what we're talking about. Before we get into that, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? I'm so glad. If you're watching us live, it's amazing. 400 people watched it last week. And while 400 people saw last week's show, only like 8 people were there live. So I love that we actually had people waiting this time. That's awesome. Hopefully we can keep this party going. If you have not already liked this video, do us a favor. Let us get served. Help us get served on YouTube. Hit that like button. And, if you're next to the like button and you just happen not to be a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button while you're there. Right?
Yes.
Sorry,
absolutely.
I'm so tired.
I'm
I'm just now realizing how tired I am as we started.
like right as our 3-hour live stream starts. You're like just getting into it. I realized I sat down with zero
look
caffeine.
what I got.
Oh, you got a mouse pad. Nice.
Yeah, boy. That's
From the
nice.
merch store.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have those available for other people if they actually wanted one?
Not yet, but soon. Couple days.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I hear you can buy a Nerdrotic one. What's that all about? Why don't we have one?
Nerdrotic has so many more viewers than you do. I don't think they care
Is
as
that
much
why
about
he's
us
got
as
one?
they care about Nerdrotic.
He was prioritized. I saw that commercial that Mixed Teas put out. It like heavily featured Nerdrotic, which seems appropriate, I guess. But we were in there, so it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so the salty nerd guys was good. All right, so I think we're gonna jump right into this sucker.
Well, let's talk to who's here first.
Okay, you go.
So let's say hello to David Nunya. David is a frequent commenter on our Popcast Unleashed channel. Thank you, David, and he always has very wonderful insight. He's a patriot, love him. Archmage Frey back again from last week. Joker, I hardly knew her. Nice comment, Joker. Hello from Eastern North Carolina, from Countryman 3000. Thank you guys for being here. Feel free to chat it up, and we'll check in with you as we're going through this whole thing. We got a lot of interesting things to talk about today.
East
Brian,
North
how was your
Carolina!
week? How was your week, man?
It's tiring, bro.
Listen, that's the same thing we say every week. I want you to tell me one interesting thing that happened to you this week, right now.
I spent 16 hours making a Raid Shadow Legends ad.
Hey, but what did they tell you? It was the best Raid ad that they've ever seen.
Yes.
Right?
We submitted the ad, and they said, this is the best promo we've ever seen. I'm like,
yes.
That's great.
Now
I still had to break my brain to make 16 hours of Raid Shadow Legends. Oh,
but God. See, wait. That is such a huge compliment because they literally have flooded the internet with advertising. Yeah. So the fact that they think that the promo that we made is the best one, and especially that you edited together, because I mean, all I obviously do is lend my voice to it.
I gotta say,
you do all the work.
I'm dreading. Right now, I'm dreading the amount of comments we're gonna get when that ad goes live.
You know, listen, this is what I gotta say real quick for anybody who's like, "Oh, I hate it when YouTubers have ads in their YouTube stuff." Most of you reasonable people will understand that this takes time and effort to do, and obviously nobody wants to do it for free all the time. So advertising helps us pay the bills. So just when you see an ad, be like, all right, this allows me to watch the content. You know, it's like when you used to watch TV and you didn't really pay for it.
Yeah. Now you're paying for it by having to watch a Raid Shadow Legends ad.
Although it is hard. It is hard.
I got it.
Hey to Doomed Huh from Texas. Don't you wish you were in Texas, Brian? Do you wish you were living there?
Oh, I do. We're going to get into that. We got a whole segment coming up about gas prices in California.
We want to move.
Ooh, I'm fired up about this one. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
I mean, think about it. We live in California. Literally the only thing keeping us here is nothing. Like our jobs are tied to, well, really.
I mean, sort of the internet.
Yeah.
You have some family stuff that you're tied to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, I have some family stuff tied to. But to be honest, we could just leave. Right? I mean, we could.
Yep.
It would be a little uncomfortable for some people in our family and perhaps us initially. However, we don't need to be here to make a living.
That's true.
And frankly speaking, I paid a $540 electricity bill yesterday.
Dude, yes. Preach it. No. You know, we'll talk about it now.
I just don't understand how it can be so high. And I do this thing where I call them and I do that thing where I'm like, hey guys, is there a problem? And it's like every few months is there something wrong? Why is my bill so high? And they're like, you use that much power, sir. I'm like, okay, is it possible there's a problem? No, sir. Okay.
Do they laugh uncontrollably and say, oh, you know that we are a monopoly, right?
Right. That's
God.
Funny. You see, here's the problem. Like, we keep talking about moving to Texas, but dude, the electrical grid in Texas is even worse than here.
What? No, what did you say?
The electrical grid in Texas is worse than here.
And when it's freezing cold, maybe.
And it's still a monopoly. It's just smaller companies. Like you're not competing. No one's competing.
Well, no, the real reason people can charge more, and I don't want to get into a whole diatribe about it, is that California taxes higher for green energy things. Therefore, companies can charge more. The cost of living is higher. They have to pay their employees more, so therefore they can charge more. It's just, it's a sunshine tax. But
yeah. All right. Well, California sucks. All right. Let's jump into the news, shall we?
Yes. Just real quick shout out to Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. The first Oh yeah, the first thing we're talking about today, we're talking about the deleted Batman Joker scene. And if you haven't watched it, you should give it a gander because hey, I know why they deleted it. You know.
So do I.
You're not. I'll mess up the screen. Here we go. Yeah, Shane, tell us about this absolute train wreck.
You know, it's funny. It's an interesting premise. The idea of Hannibal Lectering the Joker in this movie. It's like the new Batman is all about like serial killers, and this is definitely not a comic book take on this universe. It's more of a like real world take, and you just happen to have a superhero Batman running around.
Don't you think they missed a massive opportunity to not have Joaquin Phoenix play Joker?
Okay, well, we can get into that.
I mean,
I don't think Joaquin Phoenix wants to play Joker.
He's doing Joker 2, bro.
What's that?
He's doing a sequel to Joker.
I know, but I don't think he wants to tie it to the universe.
But Joaquin's not in charge of who.
Oh yeah, man. Joaquin is way in charge. he's one of those guys who's so crazy. They only do what he wants to do. I'm deadly serious.
I mean, I would love to know the story behind that. Who's like, hey, let's make a Batman movie in the same exact tone, seemingly in the same universe, because the cities looked identical, seemingly in the same, basic premise. But we're gonna go ahead and leave the $2.7 billion character off the table.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. The problem was, here's the other problem they ran into. Because of the way they did the first Joker movie, if they tied this universe to it, which they kept telling us it's not tied to, if they did go ahead and tie it to us, the Joker would have had to be about 15 years older than he was portrayed in that first movie. Because you got to remember, Bruce Wayne was a little kid.
Right, okay.
So you would have had to really age the Joker.
15 years
and I think that would have...
time, I don't think.
What's that?
I don't think 15 years is a long time.
I mean, there would have had to be some changes. So that means that Joaquin would have, if he did the second Joker movie or did future Batman movies and decided to fully be in this franchise, which, by the way, would have been fantastic. He is the Joker we need. He would have maybe had to go through an aging process a little bit. He can't be the same looking character that he was when Bruce Wayne was a kid.
Literally just give him some gray hairs, dude. I'd believe it. It's only 15 years is not a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could have gotten away with it. I feel like there's the only reason this hasn't happened is I believe it has something to do with Joaquin not wanting to do it. So,
okay. All right. So what about this scene?
Very picky.
Why was it so off-putting? Was it meant to be off-putting?
It was off-putting because they wouldn't sharpen the view on the Joker's face. Like the one we're seeing here is like the sharpest view we really got until they did like close-ups on all of his fingers, his body parts, his face. Like they kept his face fuzzy intentionally, and I'm not 100% sure why.
Oh, because they don't want to commit to the actor yet.
Well, the actor isn't a nobody. The actor is Barry Keoghan, who was one of the main actors in Dunkirk and the Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's been in some really good stuff. He was recently in The Green Knight. He's not a throwaway actor.
I mean, I get that, but they probably don't want to commit to him yet. They don't want to commit to an actor yet.
Which is fine, yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that.
We've seen that before when they want to introduce a character, but they don't want to commit to the actor. They'll have like the character from the back of its head or something like that,
No, I'm actually okay with that. They ended up using the Joker anyways at the end of the movie. Spoilers if you haven't seen it. There is a scene. There's a scene where he's talking to the Riddler.
Right. Again, though, also not showing the actor. So.
That's true. They didn't show the actor. So. But they did a real job on this actor. Like his face he looked like he had been dropped in the vat of acid, which is something I really like because they don't always connect Joker to that accident.
Well, yeah, that's actually specific to. That's not comic book specific. So that's from the movies. That's from the movies in the 80s. In the comic books, that was not his origin story. In fact, comic books never really told his origin story. So it's been modified a few times, depending on the director and the story,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the scene wasn't horrible. I think it was off-putting mostly because they wouldn't focus in on the Joker. They obviously wanted to show us that this was a monster, right? They wanted to show all the demented parts of his body. His mouth was almost too messed up. You know that close-up of his mouth?
Yeah, it seemed like it was less of like yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense if you're going with like what seems to be the new origin story, how either he cut his own mouth or his abusive father cut his mouth open, you know?
Right. Well, but what I'm saying is that mouth of all the Joker mouths we've seen, and we've seen some terrible ones. This Joker mouth was grotesque, and I don't think that's a typical what we're looking at.
Right.
It was almost like looking at him was like looking at like Jason Voorhees without his mask on.
Interesting.
It was really like a harsh take, and I wonder if they just looked at it. And if you look at like the back of his head right now, I don't think the prosthetics and the makeup that was put on him was done very well. And they just added a whole element to this that was unnecessary to the movie, and I can see why they cut it out, because there's nothing else in the movie that really alludes to this being necessary.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary for the story. I think this is just like it was them trying to shoehorn Joker into the story.
Yeah, 100%.
Because Joker and the Batman are like peanut butter and jelly. At some point, if you have a brand new Batman franchise, at some point you're gonna have to have the Joker.
Right, and I think they have a lot of trouble here because you do have Joaquin Phoenix, you do have a second Joker movie, and it's just kind of weird. Right. You know, it's weird having a Batman series running and a Joker series running and them not somehow being tied together.
Well, Joker made an insane amount of money, so the studio can be pretty confident in knowing that the second one's going to make some good money. So why don't they just back up that dump truck to Joaquin's house and be like, Joaquin, jump into this franchise with us, bud. Here's a ton of money.
Joaquin's weird, man. He don't care about money. He is a very strange dude.
We'll make you a rapper, actor. Joaquin. You could be a rapper.
Yeah, he's very strange. He takes a lot of weird roles. He does. I mean, he could be probably one of the greatest actors of our generation, easily.
Wow.
If he really wanted to. But it's like he grew up in a family that was very, very woodsy. They were very open, very hippie-ish. And so he's just kind of carried that with him. And after he lost his brother River, he just kind of said, I'm just going to do what I want to do. And he's done it, and he's been successful.
It's cool.
So I don't know. This Batman deleted Joker scene, I'm glad it didn't show up. Not that Barry Keoghan wasn't good with it, or that he couldn't be a good Joker. I just think it was too early, unnecessary, and I think it was not a great way to introduce the Joker character to this new Batman series.
I agree. All right, let's move on here.
Who do we got over here?
Oh, we got the Dork Knight is in the chat. What's up, bro?
What's up, Danny?
What's up, Danny? Danny the Dork Knight. All right, I believe it's time to talk about some Star Trek. And you know what I'm going to do?
Before we do, though, here, hold on. Let's see. We've got Archmage Frey said he just started doing YouTube. It'll be a long time until I can do ads, if ever. Archmage, me and Brian and I said the exact same thing. When did we start doing this thing? 2015?
I don't know.
How long ago was it? 2016?
It's been a long
Anyways,
time.
when we first started doing it, we're like, oh yeah, we're never gonna get there. It took us a year, I think, before we even saw anything. But just keep going, man. You'll get there.
Yeah.
Grind it out.
The key to YouTube, in my opinion, is to make really good content, be consistent, make the best content you can, and be as consistent as you can, and don't give up.
And be honest. Whatever you talk about, be honest.
Yeah.
Your fans will see right through you if you.
That's why our motto is honest pop culture. I gotta say, there's so many YouTubers that had really, really good camera presence, really cool production, cool sets. Like, they were very talented people. But they got to a place where they thought that they hit a wall, and instead of continuing on, they get bummed out, they get disheartened, and they give up. And the crazy part is sometimes a YouTuber hits a wall not because, they're having a problem or what they're doing is wrong, but it might just be the time of year. It's crazy, YouTube goes in and out of fads, and we can actually look at our analytics and see when people are viewing the most throughout the year. Yeah. So I believe people give up a little too easy, and we actually know some people that are super talented that just sort of walked away, and it's crazy because I remember looking forward to their videos.
Yeah, you gotta want it. I think that's part of it too. Muhammad Ali says, recently joined, and I gotta say, you guys are fantastic. Love all your channels. Thank you, Muhammad. That means a lot. Speaking of our other channels, we have, we'll get into it more later, but we do have a video dropping on Popcast Prime tomorrow that's going to be fantastic, and we'll talk more about that later.
Fantastico.
Oh, what else we got here? David Nunya, frequent commenter, a patriot, but I have no more optimism left. David, we feel you, man. There are some crazy things happening in the world that definitely can bring you down, but you got to find your moment. Come back here and hang with us, and we'll all ships rise with one sea, right?
Yep. Find your zen, man.
Countryman 3000, hello. I'm usually on with Tech Bandits. David Hewlett. Also love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. It's great. Thank you so much. And we also love David. That's awesome that you're here hanging with us.
Yeah, thank you. David Hewitt is like one of my favorite guys.
Love him.
All right. Oh, I like this. Hello, your electricity bill. I know exactly why it's so high.
What?
He's looking at the background with all the LEDs and goes, I know your electricity bill.
Right, so right.
Look, these aren't on all the time, okay? I only put them on when we're shooting.
I got a $600 bill and I have disco light in my my living room.
Okay, man. So next week, because we're talking about Star Trek every week now, I think next week I'm gonna have a stinger, a Star Trek Picard stinger.
That'll be cool.
I think it's time. Right?
We appreciate the little graphics you include and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, guys, if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and that like button and the alert button. Hit all the buttons. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Speaking of animation.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
We are talking about Star Trek Picard Season 2, Episode 4, titled The Watcher. And I know some people had some issues with it. I had a couple issues with it, but overall, I actually had a good time. And we're going to get into this in deep because I think that Shane and I might disagree a little bit on this episode.
Ooh, those are fun. I like it when we
yeah.
disagree.
So, listen, if you are not watching Picard and you haven't seen the latest episode, again, episode 4 of season 2, The Watcher, heavy spoilers ahead because we're about to...
yeah, we're going to wreck it.
We're going to break it down and we're going to break it apart.
We're going to come over the top rope and we're going to come down on it.
Okay. So Shane, we'll start with you, and then I'll explain. I'll give you my notes.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, we both. So why don't we start from the beginning and just kind of go through it instead of the whole thing? You know what I mean? Let's talk about kind of the first scene. Can I just say that there was like a weird start of it that I did not like, and it was that Agnes is like freezing, right, and Picard's like, we got to light a fire, right?
Right.
And then he's like, okay, let's set up the cloaking device. So my question is, they don't have enough power to like heat the inside of the ship, but they can cloak the dang thing? Isn't that kind of weird?
I'm not going to pretend that I know how cloaking devices work, but I would assume that cloaking devices require a reasonable amount of power. I'm assuming. Yeah. So I feel like maybe a fire wasn't necessary. Maybe you can't heat the whole ship. Maybe just find a room and turn the heater on there.
Okay, I just feel like it's lazy writing because what they really wanted to do was get to Chateau Picard.
They wanted to get the chateau.
So they force these storylines that are irritating, that don't make any sense, to get the characters to move.
Right.
We've been watching stuff for a long time, and I don't know if they're just not teaching people this, or it's lazy, or I don't know what it is, but it's bad writing. That is an element of bad writing.
It was like, yeah, they want to get to the chateau, so they need a reason. And the reason was, oh, you're cold. You have a blanket on. We can't light a fire in the ship.
They didn't need a reason. Picard could have literally said, let's go to the we didn't even need a reason.
Right. Yeah.
Like I want to go see what this place looks like in 2024.
So,
right?
and like, with that said, I don't know if it's by definition lazy writing. I think it's more like just sort of bad. Like they feel like it's almost like they're like they do not trust the audience.
Right.
You know, that they need to include a reason because the audience is too dumb to understand that they change scenes.
Yeah, it's like they grab his head and turn him. You know, they turn you. It's like, look at here, look over here, look. You know, we are smart enough. Star Trek fans are intelligent viewers. Trust me,
Well,
we wouldn't be watching this stuff if we weren't.
Most of us. There's plenty of.
Well, maybe we're not intelligent anymore,
viewers.
But we used to be. When Star Trek was intelligent, we were intelligent with it.
You know, I did like the fact that 15 kept coming up for her. I think that was a cool little
That was cool.
You know, that's
cool.
like hey, there's more stuff to come with this.
Like a subliminal. That was nice.
Yeah, like she was like, she picked out the 15th encyclopedia. She counted 15 beads. She picked up the 1915 alcohol. Which, by the way, how in the world has this place not been raided yet? If you got bottles of wine from 1915, you know how valuable those are?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, okay, it's cool because I was just about to I wanted to say a positive thing, and that was I like the addition of the Chateau Picard history. We just got a whole canon, you know, filled up with about Chateau Picard, about the Nazis, you know, holding it during World War II, and that the Picard family ended up going to Europe, which kind of explains some things, you know, because they end up coming back as we see at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. And so that was kind of cool just to have that whole story about it, and I like that. But then you find this ridiculously old bottles of wine, and you're thinking like, anybody could just walk in here and take this stuff. What's going on?
Yeah. Perfectly preserved. Yeah. You got these expensive bottles of wine from 100+ years ago. You have
maybe people in France don't steal.
First edition encyclopedias. Like, listen, everything that they showed had value. And where I'm from, I can't leave my garbage too far out in the street, or someone will try to take the trash cans that belong to the city.
That's a good point, actually.
So, yeah, but that's also a little bit nitpicky. I'll tell you what's not nitpicky. Stop talking about Picard's mom because you're stressing me out.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
stressing me
happen.
out so much that we're getting so much of Picard's mom. I swear, like, guys, I can deal with a lot. I can accept a lot of abuse from my my lover on screen, but I tell you what I can't accept. I cannot accept in any way because I try to connect the craziest of dots, but I can't in any way explain how his mother can be the Borg Queen. So just don't do it.
She can't be, and if they do it, then it's all down the tube, so please don't do it. And I just don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith sometimes in the writing, but I don't think they'll do that. I do believe, and I'll explain one more time because I keep hearing it come up in other shows that you do and other people do. The reason why she said those words to him is because as Locutus, the Borg knew all of his thoughts and everything, and she knew that would impact him if she said it because it was something from his childhood, and of course they had just showed it to us. So that's why the Borg Queen used those words. It's not his mother. Okay.
Okay. So, and I want to believe that. I do.
Yes.
Because that's what I think too. He was the cutest. Makes complete sense. 100%. But just throwing it out there, man. They can. Anyways. All right. Let's move on. The stuff at the. Let me get there. The stuff at the. All right. So this is a cool Easter egg.
Oh,
the guy with the boombox.
Yeah, so that's actually really cool.
That is the punk rocker from A Voyage Home. The one that Spock pinched his neck because he was like being obnoxious with his boombox. And Spock asked him to turn it down. And he said, "Stuff you, man," or something like that. And
the actor's name is Kirk Thatcher.
And Spock gave him the old neck pinch, and everyone in the bus cheered. Now, here's the great thing. She asked him to turn it down, and he said, "Oh, yeah, no problem." Now,
Right.
A lot of people assumed it's because he remembers getting neck pinched by Spock. However,
Well, that's what people believe, yeah.
That's a pot. I guess you can think that, but that is actually wouldn't make any sense because in this timeline, Spock and Kirk didn't go back in time.
Yes. Okay, we're not there yet. We're not going to talk about that yet.
However, it might have nothing to do with Spock and Kirk. It might just be the fact that the guy is older and he's no longer a dickhead.
Okay. Yeah.
And
maybe
it was played for laughs because the audience saw the character and they were expecting a different reaction, but instead of reacting poorly, he reacted the opposite of the way he reacted in that movie, and that was the comedy of it.
I mean, I think they probably intended it to, and this is where Terry Matalas is kind of getting a little bit of trouble. I think somebody mentioned it, and I forgot to. We'll have to go back and look at it. I don't know if you can see it there. Does he actually grab his neck?
No. Okay. He just turns the thing down. He just says, "Oh, I'm sorry about that," and he turns it down.
He didn't put one hand to his neck, right, when he did it?
No. One hand's on the boombox, and the other hand's turning down the boombox.
Okay. Maybe that was the joke, but I think he's supposed to have learned his lesson. The idea is he's supposed to have learned his lesson. Yeah, he did put his hand on his neck, and he turned it. Yes, he did.
No, he grabbed. He didn't grab his neck where that's stretch. He grabbed this. He adjusted his collar, then he turned it down.
I got it, but okay. Anyways, it can be argued until Terry comes out and says specifically what they meant. Of course, now he's going to say what you said, because the reality is that if they're saying that, and we'll get to this, if they're saying that Guinan doesn't know Picard, then that means that guy couldn't have been neck pinched by Spock.
You're right, and I dude. The explanation of Guinan not knowing, well, we're gonna get there, but the explanation of him not knowing Picard makes complete sense to me. I'm not sure why people are fighting this.
Well, at first I was upset about it, but now let's put it this way: I have Back to the Futured myself into reasoning.
Oh, okay, because I understood it immediately.
I didn't, because there was a little bit of things moving around, but now I think I've got it.
Okay. All right. I still like the fact that her bar is on the corner of forward and then 10. It's sort of
I hate it, bro.
Look, I understand it's completely not necessary.
No, it's not that it's not necessary. It should not exist.
It's an Easter egg, bro.
No, it doesn't matter. Okay, look. Okay. Forward 10 forward is deck 10 forward section.
I understand what 10 forward is.
Okay, so there's no reason, if there's no Federation, there's absolutely no reason for this bar to exist in 2024. If in the future, I know it does in the future exist, right? But there's no reason for this to exist at this time and give an homage to a ship that does not exist.
No, you're completely right. I believe that we thought initially that it was like, oh, she purposely got 10 on forward because of her time on the ship. But I think it was it's just a fun little Easter egg that they threw in there.
I mean, I get it's fun, I'm just saying like, if we're gonna review the show, you can have fun with it, but things also need to make sense.
Here's one thing that doesn't make sense. He picked up Saurian brandy.
Yeah, I mean, it is something from the future.
That is, or at least from another planet, for sure.
Well, she's a Lorian, so she came from another planet, so it's not unreasonable that she would have it.
Okay. I like that they recast her.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather had, of course, the original Whoopi Goldberg, but, de-aging is very expensive.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she also had something going on. She had... at that time, I think she was recovering from, Stakita? And she was unable to be very mobile at that time. She really couldn't do a lot. If you notice when she is filming in Picard, she's not doing a lot of moving around. Mm. So she may not have been able to even be de-aged to actually go through this process. And I think it was fine that they recast with somebody else. And she did a fine job. As far as the character itself and kind of her attitude about things with humanity. I don't know if how I felt about it like that. I was a little bit.
It was a little heavy-handed.
It is very heavy. I don't like. I understand that Star Trek is progressive. Star Trek's greatness in being progressive was at a time when the counterculture was truly the counterculture, and nowadays we have this kind of 50-50 split on two sides, and it's extraordinarily. It's very toxic. It's very real, more than it has probably in any other time in our history. And so when you come out in pop culture and you lean so heavily to one side, you tip the whole thing.
Right.
You know, they're just pushing it too much. Like, and they're standing behind. Oh, Trek has always been progressive. I understand Trek has always been progressive, but what we're living in right now, you can lighten up on the messages a little bit. It does not have to be so in your face, and kind of offensive in some ways.
Right,
I get
for
we got
instance,
problems.
the whole ICE thing.
Yeah, they're
Bro,
just
dude. Okay, I'm gonna be really clear with everyone. I'm almost positive that ICE doesn't just randomly disappear immigrants they find on the street.
I know. Listen, I get the maybe the feeling, and this is, you know what, this is being written by people who obviously have no idea how it's done, and I'm not saying we're experts. We do live in California where most of the ICE stuff seems to occur, and they do look for illegal immigrants. Their goal is to take them back to their country, and I'm sure it's a scary experience for those illegal immigrants, but that doesn't mean that every one of them is a jerk, and they're knocking people around, and you know, they're disrespectful.
They just
evil.
walk in there and just tase the guy. Like that is not a thing that happens. Here's the deal.
I mean, maybe even if it is, it's like, why?
It's comic book villain stuff. Here's the thing too. The way the real world works, and I'm assuming that this is not in our world, so maybe I can give them a little credit. This is in a different world than what we actually live in. But
it's true.
When you get picked up for your papers, you get a court date.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
Guys, we live in California. We know. I know how this works. My wife has family members who this happened to. Here's the deal.
That's true.
You get picked up without your papers, right? First off, 99% of the time, regular cops don't care, and they're not even going to bother you. If you get picked up by ICE because you're working at a restaurant or something without papers, you get picked up, you go to the paddy wagon, you're held overnight, you get a court date, and you get released. You guys, you get a court date and you get released. And you guys show up to court. Now listen, after the third time is when you no longer get court dates.
Yes.
And now they're going to take you back to Mexico.
So if you're an illegal citizen or illegal person and you did not go to court when you were supposed to, then once they get you the next time, then they're just taking you back to Mexico or wherever you came from. Right.
They process you so they have your fingerprints, they know who you are. And if you miss your court date, then you're going to go to Mexico or wherever you're from. Here's the deal. They're not disappearing people. They don't just take them out in the middle of the desert and shoot them in the head. They're not going to
They're not going to Cuba.
Yeah, they're not going to some facility where they're going to be, you're going to lose them permanently. This is not the way it works. So maybe it works in this weird timeline.
True. Yeah. Okay.
But I feel like they're trying to make a social statement. And if that's the social statement they're trying to make, that's not how it works. So you're making a social statement incorrectly.
Well, this is why I was talking to you earlier in the week. And I'm like, how do you feel? Do you think Star Trek is in our universe or not? And it's interesting because, once the eugenic wars happened in the 90s, I think Star Trek, it started in the 60s as an intentionally being in our universe.
Right.
Like the galaxy that Star Trek is in and traveling through is ours, timeline.
Right.
But when the eugenics wars didn't happen, I think it became not our reality.
Right.
But we've always watched Star Trek believing in our, when they go back to the 1986 and in the voyage home, we think of that as our home.
Well, technically it would be because before the eugenic wars.
Well, I guess you're right, technically. So nobody's ever said it, but I guess this is technically a different a different reality since we didn't actually have that happen, but it still lines up with, it's a message that they're trying to push, and it's just a little too much. It's like too much.
Yeah, guys, it's the definition of heavy-handed. I don't know what
It's
to
just
tell
too
you.
much. It's like, and there's multiple messages here, and it's like, just lighten up a little bit and let's enjoy the TV show. You know, if you want to sneak in your little, you know, swipes, then do so. But it doesn't have to be, you know, Guinan's leaving the planet because humanity is destroying the Earth, and they don't like people of her skin color.
Yeah, that
You know,
was
and
that
it's
was
like,
silly.
so she's
However, when he told her not to give up on humanity, and the TNG theme plays,
that was a good counterbalance. Yes.
freaking awesome.
I thank God. I was actually, for that moment, I was like, oh my God, there's hope here. There is Star Trek where they're talking about hope for the future.
Right.
And it's Picard. And that moment was a good moment.
It was a great moment. And that I'm sorry. I'm gonna give Picard credit where it's due. This season, the sound design has been absolutely perfect.
Oh, the sound? Yes. It's been good.
The sound the ship makes
Yeah.
is you know, all the ships are right back to where
Communicator
what we're used to.
badges, yeah.
Transporters sound the same. The music has like this Star Trek, right? Even though the Picard music is not the classic Star Trek music we're used to, it has a it feels like Star Trek music. And they just know how to put the right things, the sound design this season has been just, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, that's really positive. You know, also directing this episode and actually back-to-back episodes is Leah Thompson. Of course, you remember her from the Back to the Future franchise as being the mom.
Yeah, also the reason I hit puberty at 13 years old.
Right. So she's actually directing these episodes, and when we get to the portion about time travel with Guinan, it's kind of ironic that she's the director while we're having this Back to the Future moment. You know, and that's actually what helped me understand it. I guess we can actually talk about it, but real quick shout out for Brian Quinn from Jokers.
Oh, that was so great.
He was Guinan's friend, and I kept double taking. I'm like, I know that guy.
It's Brian
Wait,
Quinn.
where's that guy?
Yeah, it's cute.
And it was Q from the Jokers. It's not a Jokers. What is it? It's
Impractical Jokers, bro.
Impractical Jokers. I don't know why he did it or what happened or the story. I'd be curious to find out how he got this small speaking role and what that was about. And I don't know if we'll see him again in the series. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah. Although Picard did tell Guinan, don't leave the planet, so I'm sure we will see her again.
Yeah.
Although she was summarily dismissed, and it's very curious as to why she's somehow made the Watchers angry.
The Watchers don't like her, apparently. And that little girl was like, I'm going to put my foot through your head. I'm like, whoa.
I mean, it was pretty, like, she's really angry at her.
I got to be honest, that little girl knows how to act, bro. That little actress, she knows how to act because, like, it was visceral. So either she's a really good actor or maybe she really just hates the actress that played Guinan.
Well, right. And then when they took the Watcher out of her body, and then the kid walked away, she looked better confused than the rest of them. But she did a better job than the rest of the people who just sort of like walked away. Yeah, we're gonna have to question this whole idea of the Watcher just like randomly taking over anybody and controlling them when they want to. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very MCU. I just realized this. They're getting in a Homeland Security bus. Why is that?
Maybe ICE works for Homeland Security?
No, ICE does not work for Homeland Security.
Are you sure? It's a federal organization.
I mean, listen, you guys let me know in the comment section. Right now. Am I wrong? I'm almost positive that they're two separate organizations.
Homeland Security is over all of them.
Okay.
Homeland Security was a new branch that was created back when I was in the military stuff.
Yeah, during when the Twin Towers were bombed.
Yeah, just after that. Immigrations and yes, Homeland Security is in charge of immigrations and custom enforcement.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but yeah, so ICE, this whole thing. But let's talk about
this moment. Thing. Actually, can we talk about this interaction between Jurati and the Queen?
Oh yeah, the Queen is like seducing Jurati. Yeah,
right. I feel like Jurati is making a mistake by pissing the Queen off.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, not that the queen wouldn't stop at nothing to do exactly what she wants to do, but it was cool to see Agnes she basically fooled her, got her to
Yeah.
do what she wanted to do, and then said, no, I'm not going to give it you what you want, and she walked away.
Right. Yeah, it was sort of gangster, but also sort of like, why are you provoke? In the words of the almighty Q, we don't provoke the Borg.
Amen. Well, Agnes is not exactly commonsensically screwed on.
That's true.
And why Picard left her alone with the Borg Queen is like, that this is dangerous. You can see what the Queen is doing to her.
Yeah. I'm glad that they picked up Rios, but to be fair, I feel like they didn't all have to be separated. I feel like it was not.
So what's the whole point? This is what frustrates me. Why have Rios go through this entire situation? Simply so they could have their messaging about illegal immigration.
Right. Yeah.
It was the whole point of Rios' storyline was political discourse.
Yeah, it felt that way.
There was no higher functioning or higher reasoning behind it, other than to show what dirtbags 2024 is towards immigrants,
Right.
illegal immigrants.
I have illegal immigrants in my family. They're doing just fine.
Trust me. Once they get them back over there, they'll just come right back over.
Yeah. Listen, these are facts.
These are facts. They don't stay over there.
I'm not gonna dime anybody out here, but like, I know people, and I know a dude that has been deported 7 times. And do you know why he's getting deported? Not because he's being picked up at a restaurant working or somewhere without papers. No, because he commits petty crimes or drug charges, and then he gets deported, and then he just comes right back. And he's actually not a bad guy. He's a good dude, but he's like, he's misguided.
Yeah.
And he just comes back. He speaks perfect English, by the way.
Yeah, like Rios.
Like Rios.
Right.
And he nothing he ever does is actually like hardcore enough to warrant any like real jail time, but it's hardcore enough for him to get fines, and so they just send him back.
Yeah.
And he's been here. He's like I don't, maybe not 7, maybe it's 5 times, but listen, it's definitely at least 5 times. I know I picked him up once. Okay.
Right.
And there's people in my wife's family who have been here like 40 years, and they have driver's license, and they have jobs, and they bought cars, and they don't have papers. They don't even have green cards.
Oh, they're just here.
They're just here. So I know especially if you don't live on like border states like we are, a lot of people look at the media and movies and TV shows and whatever, and they go, oh, the immigrants are probably treated really poorly. It's not quite what you're seeing. You're seeing one very heavy-handed version of it.
And there are so many people here who are here illegally in Southern California. I would say probably a quarter of the population.
Easily. Yeah.
So the idea that like police are just going around and scooping up people and taking them back like 24 hours a day is just not the case.
Here's a metric. I've been rear-ended twice, and I've gotten into 2 accidents. So a total of 4 automobile accidents since I was 16. How many of those do you think were uninsured illegal drivers?
Probably half of them.
Half of them.
Yeah.
I hit someone that was uninsured, and he was like, dude, it's cool. Just get out of here.
Just keep going.
And then someone else hit me, and then he like took off. And with his car like hanging metal, and I'm like sitting there with my car almost totaled. So listen, this is heavy-handed. This is comically villainous for no reason.
It is. It's like comic book villain stuff. Yeah.
Right. I do like the Guinan, the actress, man. I gotta be honest. I'd like her a lot.
I mean, why do you like her?
She reminds me of Guinan, bro. She has she reminds me of a young Whoopi Goldberg.
She doesn't remind me. I'm sorry. I mean, she doesn't remind me of her at all. She doesn't have any of that innate, eternal wisdom. She doesn't have any of that sense of I've been around for hundreds of years and I know a lot of things. I didn't get that from this character at all.
Well,
she looks like Whoopi. She looks like a younger version of Whoopi.
Yeah,
but,
I'm
and
not
she's
saying
tough. But she didn't have that persona that Whoopi Goldberg has for Guinan. That mystical, right?
Yeah. I don't think we've had enough time to get that. If that's even there. But what I'm saying is she looks like a young Whoopi. It was a good casting.
It was a good casting, but I'm not saying she. It would have been nice to have this. To have a moment, she was more scared, or she was more angry, or she was more, because they were more worried about letting us see 2024 through the eyes of someone who's struggling in 2024, as opposed to the character of Guinan, whom we've long time known, that should give us this sense of all-knowingness, or she even had that in the 1800s a little bit during Time's Arrow. So this character should have that.
Time's Arrow, what a great episode of television.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Next Generation. It's they go back in time to the 1800s. Of course, Guinan's there. Surprise.
Oh, Data's they buried Data's head. Yeah,
find Data's head. Yeah,
I remember we were making a video. It was one of the Paradox videos, and I went back and watched both episodes. And I remember calling you and be like, "Dude, I forgot how good these episodes were. Like, oh my god, they're so good."
Right. No, you're right. So it's interesting because there was this thinking, and I will say it has been cleaned up. But Terry Matalas came out. Basically, people were like, "Wait a second, how come Guinan doesn't remember Picard when she'd already met him in the 1800s?" And at first, I was kind of like that too, because I'm like, "Wait a second, the 1800s happened before." But Matalas came out and said, "No, it's a different timeline." And I kept going, "No. They went back to the same timeline." But then I remembered something. And I actually remembered it when Leah Thompson, when I realized she was directing the episode. Mm-hmm. I realized that in Back to the Future, in Biff, when they go into the future, right, the future has changed because of something that happened in the past. And remember how everybody's always disappearing?
Right.
So it made me realize that when Picard got shifted into this weird dystopian, I want to kill everybody, current century of his.
Right.
When he went back, that means that the Federation didn't, and he went back in that timeline, which could potentially still be his timeline, but isn't until it is changed. See, right. I kept thinking she should know who he is until 3 days from now when the event happens.
No, that's not.
But I do understand it, but I hate time travel, so. Bleh.
Yeah, he went back in time from the Confederation when the Federation didn't exist. Now, the Federation can exist if they prevent it from being changed, but as of right now, the Confederation is what is in charge.
But they still made a mistake, because when he said, "My name's Jean-Luc Picard," like that's supposed to mean something, right? My name's Jean-Luc Picard, and we're friends 400 years from now or whatever, right? And she does this thing where she senses, right? And then she does what he wants. So what people are saying is, and I don't know if this is the truth or not, what they're saying is because she can sense things being out of time or times being out of,
Well, no. He said that. No, he actually said a phrase that she had told him. And he explained that Elorians have this ability to, I forgot exactly what it was. I guess we can go back and look at it.
The time thing.
Yeah, she had
but they don't.
They're sensitive to some kind of time echoes or something.
No, they're not. See, and this is the bull crap about it. Okay, so the Whoopi Goldberg Elorian is the only Elorian that has that ability, and we did a video about this.
Yeah. I don't like the fact that they're making it a natively.
It's not a native thing. In fact, it's officially written by the guy who wrote the movie that Whoopi Goldberg got this power through the timing of when she was beamed out of the Nexus at the moment she was there. And she ended up, part of her stayed in the Nexus and part of her came back. And that separation is what created her ability to sense the difference in time.
Right, her echo.
It's officially put down in paper that way. So the fact that they're doing this without acknowledging that is that bothers me a little bit. So they use that as a tool when in reality that should not be the case. She should not be able to sense time yet. Not until, at the end of Kirk's time.
Right.
So there's my pick. Oh my God, and I got my own little rant going on here.
No, you're completely right. I'm wondering now. He did say they said something about it, time shift or whatever. I'm not gonna find it right now.
She doesn't get to have that power. I mean, if they want to make it an Allurian thing, I mean, they just got to show me where. We know there are no other Allurians that we've seen.
Oh no, that's not it. This is the one she's complaining about the Earth.
Yeah, she throws up, right? Or something.
Oh yeah, right. What you're experiencing, because I'm repeating to you now words you will say back to me in the future. You told me about it once, many tomorrows ago. It's called Afakelt time sickness, a uniquely Allurian condition.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember. I don't remember that conversation, but okay.
That didn't because it didn't happen, Shane. It happened off screen. We weren't privy to that.
Archmage Frey is right. There is another Allurian in DS9. That's true, and also Saurian was an Allurian from Generations.
Oh man, I forgot that they got that actor to play that role.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was great.
All right, and here we go. Loris.
Did not like that.
All right. So, what I'm seeing here is she recognizes Picard.
Right. There's a recognition, right?
Right.
Okay. So, man, this is tough. Okay. So, first off, let's just note, you can see right here, she has rounded ears. She does not have the Romulan ears.
But that doesn't mean anything. We've seen TNG alter people's physiology. We've seen they made B'Elanna look like a human. Remember?
Right, but this person does not want to be seen by anybody or anything. So I don't know why she would need to hide her ears to Picard. But okay.
Well, because she's there in general, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, maybe. I'm just saying that's a difference. We should note that difference. Even if nothing was said, that's something that we've seen that's different, that we should just put, stick it in the back of your head.
Considering how dumb they think we are, I'm sure they're going to explain that it was like some some future technology that allows her to modify her appearance.
Well, there needs to be some sort of explanation, obviously.
Right.
In this situation, she doesn't look alien. We need an explanation for that. But here's another thing that's interesting about this whole situation. There are a whole lot of things in this episode that people probably didn't notice. There was a lot of throwbacks to TOS, a lot of them. Do you remember the episode The City on the Edge of Forever, where Kirk and Spock go back in time?
Yeah, that's with the Guardian of Forever.
Yeah, right. So they go back in time.
Right.
And in this episode they had the same boxing poster that was in that episode.
Okay.
They also had a picture of Floyd's barbershop in the background, which was also in that episode, and also the 21 Street mission, which was the same mission that was in that episode, is all in this episode. So that's very interesting and very cool Trek.
That is cool Trek. I hope that they do not bring the Guardian of Forever back, and I'll tell you why. It's bad. It only worked then, in my opinion, because science fiction was newer. When they used it in Discovery, it didn't work. But the fact that they use it in Discovery makes me think they might use it here.
They might, but also there's another explanation.
Okay.
So if you remember the TOS episode Assignment Earth and Gary 7.
Yes, Gary 7.
Okay. So
Talk about a letdown. I want to know so much about that character.
You're about to learn a whole lot more about this character because Loris is referred to as a supervisor, just like Gary 7 was a supervisor. The transport device that she uses, the square thing that she throws Picard in, is very similar to the one that Gary 7 uses.
Oh, that's right. Gary 7 used a square transport thing.
Yes, he did.
Oh, snaps.
Right. Okay.
Oh my
So-
God! If they bring back the Gary Seven thing, I
Yeah.
will get. I'm so happy. If they do this, then I'm gonna give them 50% of the gaffes. I'm gonna completely ignore this season.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen, but what do we do know? We know that Gary Seven was a code name. His ancestors were taken from Earth around 3000 BC and taken to another planet. And basically, these supervisors traveled through time and kind of made sure that things were going appropriately. So the Watchers could be these supervisors. I'm not sure whether they would change the name, but it could be these people from this planet that kind of is supposed to go out into the universe and then go back and like help their societies when there's trouble, right, in their timelines.
Yeah. So like they're sort of like time police.
Sort of like time police. Now I don't know if Gary Seven was time traveling or he must have been coming from that. The planet's like 1,000 light years away or something like that.
Yeah, but remember that episode of Voyager where Seven was co-opted by the time police to do work for them, and she was briefly taken out of the time stream in order to help them.
They've never really fleshed that out. It's very, it's all kind of sort of broken. And we don't have a really good grasp on what this time police thing. I don't know how I feel about the Watcher. We're really going to need to see next episode for me to really have a strong feeling about the Watcher's purpose and whether or not it feels right in Star Trek and whether it ties to things. What I can say is so far, Terry Matalas and the group have tried very hard to tie little things. The things I mentioned are not even all of them. There's other little things, names on buildings. The book that girl was reading at the very end is attached to one of the writers from the original TOS series. There's lots of little things here that tie into Star Trek. And I'm very pleased that they're doing that because I think that's the right thing to do, is to have all of these neat Easter eggs. But they have to continue with the strong writing. They have to get off they got to get off their pulpit. They got to get, quit standing there and preaching to us. And let's get back to telling the story. We've now had 2 episodes where the story has not really progressed much.
Yeah, well, yeah, I tell you, they've hit all the normal talking points. So I think we're done now.
Yes. Wait. Well, we're done with the talking. Let's go to action. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm saying they hit all the preaching points. They can move on now. They complain about climate change and immigration and riots and inequality, all that stuff.
Yes.
They've gone through all the political check boxes. They've checked them all off. There's no need to go back and keep checking them off. We can continue with the story.
We're done. We don't need to keep going there, right?
Right.
He can come back. They can come back at the end. They can bring Guinan back in because she probably is not going to come back until then.
Right.
They bring her back in and she's like, Picard, you were right. The future could be something, and then she stays.
Or don't bring her back at all. That's fine.
They will. The reason he said don't leave Earth is because they want to bring her back. I mean, tell me, this writing is going to be obvious. It's constantly obvious. Now the only one thing that was not obvious is we get Q in his Europa jacket trying to do his snap, and nothing happens.
Oh yeah, that was great.
So
look at
Q
that.
Lose his powers?
Look at that. That got square, bro.
There it is.
Oh man, I think you're onto something there, bro.
And it's kind of a cool part of Trek to actually get. If this is who the Watchers are, then that's great. And I saw a comment over here. I know we're going to go back to the comments in a second. I think Archmage Frey brought it up that Laris is actually Isis, the shape-shifting cat partner of Gary Seven from the assignment Earth. So Gary had the cat partner.
Let me tell you guys something. Another reason I had puberty early. You guys don't even understand the amount of what the Star Trek was so responsible for my early teenage years, between Orions and Isis and 7 of 9. What do you want me to do?
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So what about Q? So, that paper actually talks about, I think, Brennan, who was from the Deep Space Nine episode where they time travel and they end up going back to the sanctuary cities. By the way, there's also a sanctuary city sign in this episode. But Brennan, who this article is about, he actually goes on to design a bunch of ships. But here he's like, I think he's fighting the unions about something in 2024. It's very, very intriguing how they're tying things together, and I do like that about this show, is that they're using elements of Star Trek and they're keeping us in our universe properly. Right. Even though I don't like necessarily the what do I want to call it, the grandstanding that's happening.
So Q was just talking to himself, waiting for someone, apparently, huh?
Is he getting? Yeah, I mean, what's up? Is he getting loony, or is he losing his mind? What's going on? Did they take his powers away? Did he lose his powers? What just happened right there?
You know, our original theory was that, like, he's trying to help Picard, even though the Continuum doesn't want him to, and maybe
maybe they're stopping him.
Maybe he's running from the Continuum, and they're gradually stranding him there.
Maybe it's interesting. He's talking to himself a lot. I mean, it makes sense. Who else is he going to be talking to, so we can get to get his thought process? So maybe he needs to have that sort of conversation. But it's very weird because you see this girl coming up. He's talking, and then you spin to him. It kind of makes him look a little crazy, no?
It does. Like he's monologuing to himself.
Is he losing his mind?
I don't know.
Something's wrong with him. They already said something's wrong with him.
But he is wearing a Europa project. That directly ties in there.
It's going to come into play with the genetics.
Yeah.
In next episode, probably. Next couple.
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember where Khan was, you know? Where was Khan? You guys remember?
Well, that's true. And Brennan built the ship that would eventually hold the crew from Space Seed from that episode. The Botany Bay.
Yes.
So there's a lot of ties to that. We're gonna get more in the next couple episodes, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I'm calling this up real quick. Yeah, Europa, right? According to Memory Alpha. Europa was the G-class moon. All right, so 20 people lived in and around Europa by the 23rd century. And,
it's a whole thing. It's yes. But there's not.
Yeah, in which in an alternate timeline, Noonien Singh won the eugenic wars, and he was also the first human to set foot on Europa.
Right. So it's very interesting because this is after the eugenics wars. The 2024 takes place 20 or 30 years after the eugenics wars.
Right.
Just before World War III is about to happen. Very interesting that World War III is supposed to happen in 2 years.
Right. Yeah. Something's
in this timeline.
Something is afoot.
Yes. Can I talk about one other thing that they shouldn't have done in the show that I thought was a little careless? When Rafi and 7 of 9 get beamed out, it's done so like right in front of the cops.
Oh, right.
Seeing that actually happen, it would have been way better if they had already beamed out when the cops pulled up, and then the cops just think, well, they just disappeared. So I think, a little bit irresponsible to kind of like show the beam out.
Right.
But, it's splitting hairs, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey man, you know what? Even with the problems, I'm still on the edge of my seat. So
I'm still watching it. They lost me a little bit with all of the virtue signaling. But it took away from the story. It's like I'm hearing it constantly, every day. Anyways, it's just when I sit down to watch these things, it just it pulls me out of the story. It's like jerking me out.
Right.
And I feel like I get jerked out. And then I got to find my way back into what they're talking about because I'm getting hit with this weird reality that we're already hearing it on a daily basis. So it's like I don't really need to get smacked with it so hard.
Right. All right. We're gonna go to the comment section, but first, just in case you forgot, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on your way to the comment section to tell us what you thought of season 2, episode 4 of Picard. And we'll see you next time. Comment section time.
All right. Let's see. Going back up here.
Oh, man, there's a lot. My bad, guys. I was so entranced. I can't look at the comments and do the ENG, so.
Oh, no, it's okay. I'm over here. I'm checking it out. We'll got it. Let's go here. Archmeg Frey, the episode was called The Watcher because if you watched Star Trek before, you'd recognize callbacks to almost every single time travel episode ever. That's good. FYI, we met Picard's mom as an old woman in TNG. Oh, that's interesting. I don't remember that.
Oh, did we?
I don't remember that episode.
Archmage.
You'll have to remind us what episode that was.
I remember the episode with his brother and the disrespectful kid. Remember that?
Yeah, and his brother's wife.
Uncle.
Well, the kid wasn't disrespectful. The kid was good.
I think he was.
He loved his nephew. What are you talking about?
Oh.
His nephew was cool. His brother was kind of a son of a bitch.
D-bag.
But every family's got problems, right? Doomed Huss says, I think Agnes is going to be the queen now, and the weird Borg ship was the La Serena assimilated. Dang, so could Agnes be the one to go forward? That would be interesting.
Oh, snaps.
Maybe Agnes is the Borg. Doom, that's pretty good hypothesis.
Yeah. By the way, as I see, PJ said, this is our world, Brian. That's why they're there sent 3 days before.
Oh, that's way down.
Except for it's not our world, because in our world, eugenic wars never really happened. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so that's something we were talking about, PJ, is that we think that when the eugenics war didn't happen in the 90s, officially Star Trek is not our world anymore. But, that's not something that's been talked about officially. It would be interesting for us to come to some sort of determination of whether Star Trek is in our universe or not. And thank you for the best dynamic duo comment on YouTube. You're awesome, PJ.
Huh. Yeah.
Make sure you guys check out Orville Nation if you haven't. He's got a great channel.
Orville Nation! Orville Nation! The Nation!
Let's see. Oh, Orville Nation. And Seven and Rafi hold hands on the bus. Aww.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I'm not following any 7 of 9 storyline of love until we figure out what happened to Chakotay.
Oh, I just saw David. Your video card makes your electricity bill go burr. Let me tell you something. My video card is an absolute beast. And you might be onto something there. I did remember the mining, Ethereum mining I was telling you about, Shane?
Yeah.
So
yes.
Real quick, on my old card, the 2090 or whatever, it's profitable. Like you can mine, right? And the amount of electricity you use versus the mine, it's a positive where you can make money on just running that computer forever.
Yeah.
But on the 3090, it's way more expensive
to run your computer
because the 3090 is powerful, but it's not meant for that. It's meant for like graphics.
All right.
It's crazy.
Danny Rowe. Hey, Danny. It's good to see you.
Danny Rowe. I used to love JP from Ecotech and sometimes I do too. Oh, you used to. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Which one was that?
David Nonia. He said, I used to love JP from Egotastic Fun Time, but I don't think he's genuine anymore. Oh, man, I think... Oh, about Trek.
Yeah.
I think he just
really
doesn't care about Trek as much as he cares about the Orville. That's what
he is coming back strong with the Orville, though. So as we get ramped up, I can see him starting to get more. Let's see, Guinan was a spoiled brat millennial, but in Time's Arrow, she was a lady. Yes, she was definitely not the same character in both, for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's see here. Probably...
As lonely
a whole lot of agreeing with Shane here, PJ.
What's that?
Whole lot of agreeing with Shane here from PJ. Just note on that.
Brian is unleashed. What are you talking about?
Well, you're on the Unleashed channel. You are unleashed.
All right.
We talked about Archmage and the other Elorians. Simon Peter said there are 2 elements going on. 1, the snap that Q did to put Picard into an alternate universe, and 2, time travel. Simon Peter, I don't know if Q is responsible for this alternate universe yet. We are still of the thought process that he is not, actually. At least I am. And hopefully we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because he showed up after.
He showed up afterwards.
Yeah, not before. No, he might be responsible for the time travel.
Yeah.
But not for the alternate universe.
I don't think I think it's something... I think that Borg situation, when the Borg, because you guys got to remember, the Borg Queen was trying to accomplish something. She wanted more power, and Picard did the self-destruct thing, right? But the Borg came in, I want peace, I want this. So she was trying to accomplish something. And I think all that power was to somehow create this alternate universe. I honestly believe that's what she was trying to do. And she accomplished it before the detonation occurred.
She was taking power from the entire fleet. Imagine
from the whole fleet. Yeah.
That's insane.
So more to come on that. Q is a good guy here for sure.
Right.
Let's see. This is not Trek. It's lecturing the bad people show. They have a lot of that. You're right. Cobra Commander, that was the Dixon Hill novel she was reading. No, you know what, Cobra? They did mention Dixon Hill. Guinan did, I think.
No, I think it was Girardi.
Or was it Girardi? Yes, It was Girardi who mentioned Dixon Hill. It was, a Dixon Hill mystery. She said that. But she was not reading a Dixon Hill novel. She was actually reading an actual novel written by one of the original Star Trek writers that you could go buy today. That's out. So it wasn't actually, because Dixon Hill is a fictional character. Let's see. It was the first appearance of the Traveler. I was watching to see if he could be the Watcher. Okay. And Picard's mom appears when the Traveler...
When they travel to a part of space.
To a part of space where the thought becomes real. Okay. Let's see. David's not going to watch episode 5.
Well, at least you'll be here, and we'll give you the
You'll be here. We'll break it down for you, man. Yeah. My thought is Q did nothing but keep Picard and friends alive to deposit into the new world. He doesn't care. Yeah, I do. We also think, Archmage, that Q is the reason why everybody else is aware of what's going on as well. Is Q probably had something to do with making sure they're also there and they know.
Ooh, maybe Q can't fix it, but he has enough juice in the tank to get Picard where he needs to go.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. We're going to see. Obviously, if he could just snap his fingers and fix it, that would be the case. But he's also frustrated and angry with Picard. Plus, he has things going on. So we'll have to see what happens. But we will be back next week with season 5 or episode 5 to continue the drama. Let's hope we're not on a downhill slide. By the way, our theory is still intact.
It is.
Nothing has happened to take away from our theory. And if you guys haven't seen that, go check it out on the Popcast Prime channel.
This might be a record that we're 4 episodes in, and we have our theory has not yet been proven wrong.
Well, yeah, or at least some element of it proven wrong. That's what usually happens. Usually our theory is good for a while, but some elements of it will be chipped away.
Right.
And in this case, really nothing's been taken from it.
Right. Granted, they did spend 2 episodes preaching, so.
That's true. Move on from that, please.
All right. What's you got something next before we go into Halo, right?
Let's see. We're going to talk about here.
Oh, stick around for the Halo thing, guys, because I watched the first episode of Halo, and it's freaking rad, man. It's rad.
We're going to talk about
so rad. Oh my god.
People who love Halo, it'll be interesting because I heard some people talking about Halo like they did not like it very much.
Talking about everything was cool. That was a freaking rad episode of television.
But I wanted to take a second here. We're not sponsored. This video is not sponsored at all. But I'm having such a really excellent experience with my Magic Spoon stuff. I wanted to talk about Magic Spoon for a second.
Oh my god! I just got the Magic Spoon cereal bars.
Yes, they're good. I've got them too.
Phenomenal.
They're really, really good. Really, really good. But if you guys are on any weight loss journey, obviously Brian and I struggle with our weight. Probably, as you can see, Brian's actually done a good job losing. I'm still working on it. I'm using Magic Spoon, and I got to tell you, when I need my sugar, then I'm able to have a little bit of a bowl of cereal, and it's really great. No sugar, lots of protein if you're doing keto. If you haven't checked out Magic Spoon, we're going to put a link down below, you guys. We have a little thing. It's we don't get anything for it because it's tied to something else. But if you use Popcast, they give you a discount, and you can try it. If you're on a weight loss journey, give it a try. Let us know what you think so we can give some feedback.
Use Popcast, and you get some money off because it's tied to one of our other videos. But
it's tied to something else we've done. So, and we don't get any money every time that somebody used that code. We don't get anything for it. Yeah. But it is our code, and we do want people to try it if it's going to help them because I got to tell you, it's making a lot of difference for us.
Boy, it would be nice if we got some money for that.
And we got to make a commercial about it. Did you?
Oh yeah, you want to watch that?
If you guys haven't seen this commercial, it's Brian and I's first acting.
Here's the thing about Magic Spoon, real quick before I play it. It's even if you're not on keto, it's just better for you than cereal. So like if you like cereal, this is a very good alternative to cereal because it doesn't have sugar.
Yeah, and it tastes like it tastes like cereal.
It has plenty of calories, to be fair. It's sort of calorie heavy, but it's also super protein heavy, and there's no sugar, and it tastes like cereal. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, you want to
It's
see the
pretty
commercial?
cool. Yeah, let's see. You guys can see our acting gig.
It's simply
No,
not.
that's not the one.
Not that it's great acting or anything, but it's our first time getting to act.
What's the name of that? Is it M Spoon? Yeah, here we go.
Look at you. You do Magic Spoon and pull up Biden.
That's a mistake. Here we go. Ready? Here we go.
President.
This is me and Shane acting on our first Magic Spoon commercial.
That's why your electric bill's so high.
What is all the Magic Spoon doing on the floor? Bro! Is that all our Magic Spoon?
Big that bowl is, Shane. Jesus.
Just my half? I didn't eat all
come
that, I
on.
promise.
We love
That's like
Magic
$20
Spoon
Magic
cereal so much,
look
we were
expensive,
excited to be able to share our
Right, needed to look
experience with our
expensive.
fans. If you haven't tried Magic Spoon yet, then prepare to have your mind blown. It tastes like a childhood favorite sugary cereal, but it is high in protein, low in carbs, and sugar-free. Yes, it tastes awesome,
That's my
and
favorite
it's
right there,
sugar-free. We were miserable on our
chocolate
keto
one?
diets
I love the
until we
chocolate.
found Magic
my
Spoon.
favorite one's the
It's
fruity, bro.
exactly the meal
like-
or
I like the
snack you
blueberry,
need to
too.
get
I
you
bought
through
like
your
4
weight
of
loss
I don't like the
journey or
blueberry
just
very
help
much.
you keep the weight off.
Like
Tastes- it
blueberry.
tastes
You
like
aren't
freaking
going to believe it's sugar-free
Captain
when you
Crunch to me.
taste it. Give yourself the
really?
treat you deserve
Captain
without
Crunch.
the guilt.
I
Go
like
to
that. I used to love Captain Crunch.
magicspoon.com/popcast and get
Look at Brian when he
$5
does
off
that.
your order when you use coupon code POPCAST. Feel like a kid again and order Magic Spoon today.
Don't even think about it.
You looked like you were really going to hit me. You violent man, you. Anyways, if you guys try Magic Spoon, it's absolutely fantastic.
A young blonde woman walks by reading a Dixon Hill novel. What is that from?
Is that what it said? I got to tell you, I'll look at it again, but I'm pretty sure it was something else. But if I'm wrong, we'll definitely let you know, Cobra.
All right, you ready to talk about some Halo?
Yeah.
All right. We are talking about Halo because episode 1 of season 1 just dropped. It is apparently a Showtime series playing right now on Paramount Plus, and I gotta say, as a fan of science fiction and a lifelong Halo fan, this was very familiar and very cool and very well acted. I liked pretty much everything about it. To me, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for the next episode. I'm mad at myself that I was gonna skip this. In fact, Shane, until you told me that it was good, I wasn't gonna watch it. I was gonna maybe binge watch it later on. Oh, it's phenomenal. Master Chief, the actor's cool. When they come in, I love the fact that they're showing the rebels and what they think of the Spartans. And when they come in and save, they don't even save the village, but they kill all those bad guys. Oh, it was so rad, dude. And the light swords, rad, bro. Rad.
Yes.
I don't have a better word for it. It was just so freaking cool.
So the elements were cool. So let me preface it really quick that I have never played Halo. I don't know anything about it. And when Brian said he was looking forward to seeing it, I happened to see it pop up, and I'm like, I didn't really want to watch it, but I'm like, well, he said it was science, so I watched it, and I enjoyed it. But no, I'm not a hardcore fan, so I don't know if everything's right or if it's as it should be or if everything is correct. All I know is that we pull up on these these people who look like they have very little, and they're terrified of whoever the military is in this world.
The Marines and the Spartans, yeah.
Right? And then basically these aliens come in and start slaughtering them. And I was like, oh, dang, that was pretty real.
Yeah, so the basic premise is the galaxy or whatever is really ran by this sort of authoritative government. And these rebels don't want anything to do with the government, but the government actually needs the rebels to be under control because they need some kind of chemical or mineral or something.
Yeah, resources from their planet, right?
Yes, to help fight the Covenant. And the Covenant are these aliens that they don't know very much about that just continually harassing these planets. And a lot of people don't, because they don't see them, they think that, oh, they're talking about propaganda. It's not real. And for a minute there, you start thinking that maybe they are either being lied to, or they're not, or they don't understand that there's actually a threat. And then you realize that maybe it's a little mixture. It's more like the real world. It's a mixture of two. Yes, the government isn't all bad, also isn't all good. They have problems in their mind. A lot of people in this government think the greater good is dealing with this alien threat that they don't know anything about, and they're willing to kill people to make sure that they can continue fighting that war.
Right, and then apparently, I guess the Spartans are not the normal military, and somehow they've been taken from their families and brainwashed to become these like mecha warriors.
They've been genetically altered in some way.
Yeah, so
and they're rad.
I mean, obviously, yeah. So the people weren't able to do anything to the aliens. They couldn't even shoot their armor. And as soon as the Spartans showed up, they started taking down the aliens pretty easily.
Oh, before we get into this more, please hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And on the way to the comment section, hit the like button. Thanks.
So I just felt like it was compelling. I liked the storyline. I liked that I knew who Master Chief was. Who wouldn't know who Master Chief was? I know he's like the lead Spartan guy.
Right.
And I like that, it did feel a little bit kind of like The Mandalorian to me, a little bit.
It has that vibe like he's going to start protecting, this girl.
Right.
Like she's baby Yoda or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of got that feel for it. Some people were complaining that when he took his helmet off, it just ruined things. The actor playing Master Chief is Pablo Schreiber, who's the brother of Liev Schreiber.
He's the better actor.
Pablo is?
Yeah, much better actor.
Wait, Pablo's better than Liev?
Oh yeah, much better.
Really?
Much better actor in my opinion.
I like his older brother.
Yeah, he was in. I believe he was in the Orange is the New Black, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he was. He was also he's in Skyscraper, which I didn't really watch. That's probably the only Rock movie I haven't seen. 13 Hours. He was in 13 Hours.
He's a good actor, man. I
haven't really seen him before, but I guess he's in American Gods. He played Mad Sweeney.
I loved him in American Gods. That's right. He was the best character in American Gods.
So what some people are saying out there is that his face doesn't fit what Master Chief's face should look like.
Well, how do you know what his face looks like?
Well, that's the thing, is nobody knows, but they just expect something a little more, I don't know, chiseled and strong. I don't know.
This is the problem with people. It's like reading a book, and then you make a movie, and there's going to be a lot of people that aren't seeing the same movie in their head as the book they wrote. And this is the same thing. You aren't seeing his face, so you have a vision of his face. It's probably attached to some kind of masculine figure in your history,
right?
Your father, your grandfather, and your mind. You see this protector, this person, as someone that you resemble in some way, right?
Right.
So it's not going to be perfect. And me knowing that had zero problem with his face.
I'm glad that you're enlightened and you're in touch with yourself. But even for me, when I watched The Mandalorian and he finally took his helmet off, there was a bit of a letdown when he took his helmet off.
Sure.
So while I don't know this character at all or anything about it, although when he did take his his helmet off, I went, oh, well, that doesn't look like a badass fighter. But okay. And I know that's stereotyping. That's probably not the right thing to do. But as humans, we just kind of can't help but to have expectations. And there's a part of me that thinks maybe they should have just left the helmet on a little longer. Maybe he should have stayed in that helmet for a few episodes.
Maybe a little bit longer. But does Ryan Reynolds look like a badass fighter?
Who?
Does Ryan Reynolds look like a badass fighter?
Well, when he's wearing his Deadpool outfit.
Right. But when he's not, he looks like he belongs as a romantic lead in a comedy.
He's got a mask, I don't know. It's Master Chief. He's like, I don't know the game a whole lot, but what I do know is he's the dude you are when you're playing Halo.
Right. He's the main character.
Yeah. Look, but this is pretty aggressive, pretty violent, bloody stuff. It's a Showtime, and there's the reason I mentioned Showtime. I know earlier you're like, it's on Paramount Plus. It's created by Showtime. It's airing on Paramount Plus because they're partnered.
The armor looks so freaking cool. I mean, jeez.
Is that game expectation? Like, do you, when you look at that, do you go, yeah, that reminds me of the game?
Oh, yeah. Dude, listen. The armor, all the Spartan armor reminded me of the game. The aliens remind me of the game. The light swords they carry remind me of the game. The guns they carry remind me of the game. And that little Easter egg when he was out of ammo, and when Master Chief was out of ammo and his buddy was pinned down, and he picks up the minigun that was previously mounted on the truck, and he uses the minigun as a turret to lay waste. That is directly out of the game. Listen, guys, if you played Halo, there's a moment when you get that minigun, and you're slower and you can't jump around, and you are impeded because of the weight of this thing, but you are also now a god. Because no one can match, and at least in Halo 2, the power of that minigun, and that was really cool.
Interesting, yeah. This TV show has taken a long time to make it. It goes all the way back to 2013 when it was revealed that Steven Spielberg was going to develop the Halo TV series and executive produce it through his Amblin Television.
By the way.
It's gone back a long ways. I guess there's like 265 or 225, something like that, drafts of this script that have gone through.
Wow.
Before this show was actually made.
They really didn't want to get it wrong.
They didn't want to get it wrong. Other than feeling a little bit like The Mandalorian, I think that's kind of... Some people are complaining about Cortana, but since I didn't play the game, I don't really know.
I haven't seen Cortana yet.
They're saying that the Cortana coming is not the right Cortana or something.
Well, we haven't seen him yet. But yes, I was one of those people that when I saw the images of Cortana, I was like,
yeah.
I mean, that looks like a person. And Cortana is humanoid, but she's not a person. And I had a problem with it. But because I haven't seen that portion and I've only seen that one screenshot, I can't really. I have no room yet to criticize until I see the context of that screenshot.
That's fair. Yeah, so this is an interesting series. I know we don't have a whole lot probably to talk about it. Some of the concerns are that Kwan Ha, who's playing the little girl that he's protecting, played by the actress Yureen Ha. Interesting, she has the same last name. They think that they're afraid that at some point she's going to become Master Chief and kind of fall into this whole like woke culture that's happening right now.
What are you talking about, guys?
I mean, I guess it's possible anything could happen, but there is only one Master Chief. And
there's one Master Chief.
Pablo
So,
Schreiber,
yeah, maybe she becomes a Spartan, and guess what, guys? There are female Spartans in the game. You play Halo ODST, like when Spartans were introduced as characters you can play that weren't just Master Chief.
Yeah, I think they're specifically talking about her taking over as Master Chief.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing saying that Master Chief is always the same person, right? Master Chief's a rank, by the way.
Yeah, it's a rank.
So it is a rank. So it doesn't mean that it always has to be the same person.
Right. I don't really know. I know that in all of the games, when I played Master Chief, in my mind, even though as ex-military, I knew that was a rank, in my mind, I was playing the same character.
I gotcha. You know, I thought was interesting about the episode was in the beginning, like all the kids are doing drugs. You know, I was like, what the heck? They like go off to the hillside to like do drugs and stuff.
But there was after Halo 3, there was ODST where you played as different Spartans, not just Master Chief.
Not just Okay. And I don't know a lot about it, so. All right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so I guess he touches the artifact and he gets like some of his memories back, and it's a whole thing. And
that's not part of the game, right?
I think there actually is a part of the game where he touches something and Cortana has to do something. I don't remember though. Listen, by the way, also, as much as I do love the game, it has been like 20 years. So.
Well, and in this case, if you haven't seen the whole series or whatever, and you want to. Sorry, I guess we should have said spoilers at the beginning. You know, so he's basically going against the government. He's getting some of his memories back. And a small group, I guess the scientist that's in charge of him doesn't want him taken down, even though the government's basically said, take down Master Chief.
Oh, that was a cool scene.
Which one?
When she was like, guys, you're being told to take down Master Chief. I'm amending your orders. Protect Master Chief at all costs. And they're like, even with civilians, and he's like, if they're trying to take down the chief, they're not civilians,
or they're not friendlies,
or they're not even friendlies. He goes, if they're trying to take down the chief, they're not friendly. That was awesome, dude.
Right. So yeah. Anyways, that's if you guys watch the show, it's who knows what's going to happen next week. If it gets better, I'm intrigued enough to continue watching. So
yeah, I mean it seems like proper sci-fi too.
It does. It's got all the elements. It's got creatures. It's a storyline. You know what's cool about it for me, because I didn't play the games and I don't understand it. It's actually a new story for me.
Right.
And so we don't get that a lot of days. And for you Halo fans, it's not a new story for you. But for me, it's new and interesting. So the
graphics are cool. This whole cityscape is cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, they got some good stuff going on here. Let me come over here to the comments really quick.
Well, let me end this segment. Let me do comments. Listen, hit that comment section and let us know what you guys think of Halo if you haven't seen it. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button, boys. Okay.
All right.
Let's talk about comments.
So it looks like they confirmed it. So I was wrong. The Pallid Man by Tracy Torme. Tracy Torme was the writer. Was a Dixon Hill novel. There you go. So Cobra, you were right. I was wrong. Thank you.
Well, Shane rarely says that, so good job.
I always admit when I'm wrong. I'm just rarely wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm wrong all the time. My wife will tell you I'm wrong all the time.
Electricity prices are high because they want you to switch to the green stuff. That is not green and very expensive and not efficient. Yeah, here's the problem with the whole green thing. I totally agree. If we have the ability to produce energy that is less harmful to the planet and more green, absolutely, let's do it. Except for when the government is taxing companies because of the green tax, they're just taking money from them, and the government is paying money to then buy subsidies or whatever they're called. Green credits, so that they can be green, but they're not actually green.
Yeah.
When Google's like, oh, this year we're 100% green. No, this year you paid so much money
to be considered green.
But you're not actually, you're running 400 server farms the size of stadiums. There's no way in the planet you're green.
Right.
And honestly, solar power has such a long way to go. So it's like 8% efficient. It's not good.
There's some problems still. Chris Retzlaff. So everyone is in agreement that this is an alternate universe and not just writers either trying to be ironic or not knowing to tie in Guinan from previous episodes. Yes, apparently it's so, Chris. And we can trust Terry Matalas.
Yeah.
He was attached to Enterprise
and Voyager.
And we trust him to at least try to do the right thing. So yes, it's an alternate universe because they're in the, what was it called? What were they called? The not the Federation, but the
Confederation.
The Confederation. We're in that. Yeah, we're in the Confederation's history, which could turn into our history. I'm sorry, Star Trek's proper history. If in 3 days they stop whatever is about to happen. Right. Yes.
Time travel, man.
Cobra Commander. Oh, all good. Hey, keeping us straight, buddy. Got to do it. Keep us straight.
Got to do it. All right, we're moving on. Okay, everybody. This segment is called the Rant of the Week. And today, Shay and I...
Do it right.
Huh?
You got to do it right. I'm
doing it right. Yeah, okay. I'm going to get there. Give me a second.
Sorry,
bro. Yeah. You know,
I'm excited
I'm going to start ranting about Shane. Okay. Listen, this is the Rant of the Week. And in the Rant of the Week, Shane and I are going to pick a topic every week, and we are going to complain about it. Are you ready for this kick-ass intro? Here we go.
Rant of the Week. You know what's funny? I'm excited about it, but I can't even hear it. I can't even hear it.
Yes. And today we are talking about gas prices, everybody. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Okay. Here's my major gripe. Yes, it sucks that the gas prices are $6-7 or whatever.
It's like $6.
Yes, that sucks and it's dumb. But what grinds my gears almost as much as the gas prices being $6 a gallon is the continued relentless misinformation as to why the gas prices are $6+ a gallon. It is not because we're coming off a pandemic and more people are traveling. I've heard that one, which is stupid. It is not because Russia versus the Ukraine. Let me tell you why. Does Russia produce gas? Yes. Is Russia the only country that produces gas, Shane?
No.
No. I'm just going to play a little clip for you guys. Here is why the gas prices are so high. It comes down to, in the United States, energy independence, right? And energy dependence. And the fact that, and this is not political, I'm not endorsing or not a president or any political party. I'm saying this is just straight up fact.
And all politicians are awful.
Yeah, and frankly speaking, all politicians suck. But here's the deal. We, at one point, were energy independent or getting close to.
Or close to, yeah.
Or getting close to. And since the current president came in the office, we've become, once again, energy dependent on other countries. And you can not believe me. People have said, oh, well, the government said different, that they gave quotes. Well, here we go, straight from the horse's mouth.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production.
No, well, see what you just said? I'm gonna get to that. It's simply not true that my policies are holding back production of oil and gas. Right? Here, watch it one more time. But now I'm gonna let you finish it.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production.
Number one, no more subsidies for fossil fuel industry. No more drilling on federal lands. No more drilling, including offshore. No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill. Period. Ends.
Okay. I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? What did you expect was going to happen when you decided that we are going to stop producing energy in the country and start buying it from other countries? Did you expect the price to go down? Did anyone expect the price to go down? So why is a constant lie being regurgitated by every phony politician and media outlet that the reason the price is so high is because of Russia? Can we stop with the Russia? Yes, Russia sucks, Putin sucks, whatever. This is not why the gas prices were getting high before they even invaded Ukraine. This is just a straw man. Lucky for them, there was something they can point to. Bottom line is, they came in the office, their policies, their executive orders, their opinions decided that we are going to make it hard to produce energy in the country. I don't know why he ran on that platform. That's a weird platform to run on. I'm going to make it hard for you to produce your own energy.
It's not weird at all.
What's that? Well, because the environmentalists.
It's a Democratic talking point. He literally can't run on any other policy.
But dude, I mean, like, it's okay. So we're not producing it, but we still need the energy, Shane.
Right. Yep.
So now we just have to buy it from other places who are going to do the same exact thing. So what's the net outcome here?
Yeah, he was trying to go to Iran to see about buying oil from. Can you imagine buying oil from Iran?
Oh my God, it's so stupid.
It's crazy.
So the thing is, what's the most annoying part about this is not just that the gas price is $6. It's that they think we're stupid enough to blame Russia for the gas prices being $6. It's not the case at all, and you can look it up. I don't want to spend an amazing amount of money on this and time on this, but bottom line is, they might grant a permit, but they don't grant land rights, or they might grant land rights, but they don't grant permits. They are purposely making it difficult for companies to produce their own energy. They give them just enough to get them to force them to wait, just enough where they can't be that they're not the problem, but in reality they are. And from the guy's mouth, he literally said this was the plan. Every policy he's put in place regarding energy has been a negative net outcome for us. Every single one. Not a single one has made us more independent. Every single policy regarding energy has made us more dependent, and that is why your gas prices are high.
Well, and don't forget that also the big gas companies are all going to take advantage of the opportunity to raise their prices any chance they get. If you notice, when the start of summer happens, when the kids are out of school, when spring break occurs, gas prices always go up. Right. Nothing's changed in the gas price, except people are going to be using more gas. They send the price up. So, you can talk about the country's policy, but also you got to hold Chevron and Shell and all these companies also accountable because they are raising the price. You have to hold the state of California accountable because California is also raising its requirements and prices for taxes for not having green energy.
Yeah, how about this, guys? 18 cents federal taxes, 51 cent state taxes, 10 cents sales tax, 22 cents low carbon tax, 15 cents greenhouse gas tax, 2 cents underground storage tax, another $1 that California is taking on top of it. So already that comes out to what, $2.18 that the government is taking off of every gallon. $2.18 is automatically being taken off the top. That's before anyone makes money. The gas station, the gas providers, the government is taking $2.18 right off the top. Come on.
Yeah. No. So, anyways, there's a whole lot of reasons, but the gas being $6 a gallon, we've been to $120 a barrel before, and gas prices were not $6. So you ask yourself the question, what's happening here? So I agree. Rant of the week. Good point here. Brought out a question actually brought here by Trek Reviewer. Is he not the one that shut down the Alaskan pipeline? He actually shut down the Keystone XL pipeline. Trek Reviewer. It's a pipeline that would go from Alberta, Canada, to the central United States and actually bring in gas that way to a bunch of central hubs. And it would have brought it fast. It would have been good, but
so more efficiently, less expensive, perhaps.
Yeah, but it's of course not very green, so I shut it down.
Not very green. Oh, you know what's greener? Let's spend 1 billion carbon credits to make 1 million carbon credits in solar, because people think it's good, when in reality there's only an 8% conversion. 8%.
Well, we need to continue working towards energy efficient things. We need to continue making electric cars and trying to find a way to get away from fossil fuels. 100% true. But you can't stop doing it before we have an alternative.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
We don't have an alternative yet.
Every single alternative other than nuclear is super inefficient.
Everybody's afraid of nuclear. Although nuclear is, I was aboard a nuclear aircraft carrier for years.
Yeah,
so.
Nuclear is actually pretty green as long as you don't, as long as you don't leak any waste out.
As long as you don't Chernobyl it or.
Yeah, the thing is, guys, aside from nuclear, there is no other efficient form of energy, because solar it's a super cool, super futuristic. Put the panels on your house, you get energy. It's a cool idea. What it costs to make those panels in carbon credits is way more than they produce. Okay, way more. The offset is insane. Wind power, it's a joke, you guys. It's an absolute joke. Look up the numbers.
There's a lot of them out there, though.
You don't gotta take my word for it. Go look up how efficient wind power is and what it costs to produce them. Not just in money, but in manufacturing costs, in greenhouse gases and carbon costs. It costs so much that it's going to take 100 years for one of those things to pay itself off.
Right.
It's insane. So yes, it's a cool idea. We need to eventually get there, but where our tech is not there yet. So it's got to be a slow rollout. We need to focus on it. 100%. We need to focus on it. But we are not there yet.
Yeah.
So
we need to get there. We will get there. It'll happen. But let's. That was a great rant. Good job. Thanks. Let's turn the pop culture back on. What do you think?
Yeah. Listen, before you guys leave,
And if you haven't already subscribed,
hit that subscribe button on the way down. All right. All right. Moving on. I'm done ranting. We're gonna try to rant once a week. Okay.
I got this next one's gonna end up being like a mini rant. Just heads up.
Oh really?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, is this the Keanu Reeves one?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be a rant. Damn it.
It's going to be but a topical rant and a rant that's in our world, in our wheelhouse.
Okay. All right. So we got any things we got to talk about here? What's in the chat here?
Oh, everybody in the chat's really quiet now. They're like, I'm not going to say nothing.
Our Archmage. Guys, we're not even very political people, okay? We just call it like we see it. You know what I mean?
Dude, we're tired. I'm tired of paying $6 a gallon. I'm literally paying $40 more per gallon of gas than I was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, Shane. When Shane comes to my studio to record, it costs him $100.
$100 to go record one of our scripts.
$100
just for gas.
Dude. That's insane. And he doesn't have like a giant like Hummer.
No, it's a car.
He's not driving a Humvee, bro. You know, it's a car.
It's a Toyota. It's a Toyota, dude.
Toyota. It's a Toyota. He's driving a Toyota, and it's got some $100. Jesus. Archmage Fred said, "I would argue that if we were producing our own energy, we would do it more clearly than Iran and Syria." Oh yeah,
100% true.
Yes,
100%.
I think most countries would do it more clearly than Iran and Saudi Arabia,
right.
Except for maybe North Korea.
I don't trust. Yeah, we don't want to go there.
You're right. All right. All right. Let's move on.
So let's talk about China.
Oh God. We are talking about Keanu Reeves. His movies are being pulled from streaming services in China. Surprise! 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 Everyone. China's censoring something. Oh my God. Who could have seen this coming? There's no way they would ever censor anything. Why would they do that? They're benevolent masters of all.
I love Keanu Reeves, and I know we joke about him a lot because he's not a great actor. He's really good at being Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's the best. You know what, dude? He is the best Keanu Reeves.
He is the best Keanu Reeves, right? And we love him. He's a good guy. He's a good human being.
Yeah, he is. He's a super nice guy.
Super nice guy, great human being, and Keanu Reeves is really popular in China. Like the Matrix movies, Speed, Bill and Ted's, all that stuff. It's hot in China. China loves Keanu Reeves.
So hot, super hot. Oh my God, so hot.
He's heavily supporting Tibet, and of course, as we know, China is trying to control Tibet because they have access to its. What's that?
Good for him.
Yeah. So just to let them know, China is trying to control. They have control of the water supply going to Tibet. Yeah,
you guys want to know the difference between good guys and bad guys? Ready? Keanu Reeves supports Tibet. Meanwhile, LeBron is apologizing to China.
Well, see, no, this is why I like Keanu so much because most actors, most people. I mean, we saw it most recently with who was it?
John Cena.
John Cena, yeah, who's a powerful actor now in Hollywood, but he apologized because here's the deal. And China knows they have us over the barrel a little bit, or at least they have Hollywood over the barrel, because there's so much money to be made in China that if China starts pulling movies, then Hollywood studios are going to lose money. So they don't want to make China mad. But China's doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. So Keanu Reeves saying, look, I don't care. I'm going to, what they're doing in Tibet is wrong, and I'm going to continue to support Tibet. I don't care. Him taking that stand, and what China did is they pulled all of his movies off of their streaming services. So China's like, listen, China's pretending to be this benevolent world power. They're pretending to be like a democratic, to some degree, they want to act like they're us or act like they're the United States. But they're really, a despotic country.
Yeah, they're committing genocide, by the way.
And doing all kinds of really terrible things.
They're killing is it Muslims, right?
I don't know exactly who they're killing. They're
The
killing
the Weebles, I forgot the name of the country.
Weebles.
And there's an actual
There is a group, yeah.
There's a group of people that they're just like, and everyone just ignores it in Hollywood because they're making billions of dollars.
But it's more than that. It's what they're doing to Tibet. It's what they're doing to Taiwan. It's what they do to their own people. Anybody who speaks out or says anything that that the government doesn't agree with. It's just, don't let them. You can't be fooled by China, so by the government there. And so I just really respect that Keanu Reeves, and there isn't many people who want to make money in Hollywood who would do this, frankly speaking.
Right. Well, yeah, dude, Keanu don't care. Like, okay, don't hire me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what may happen, actually. If you may not see Keanu Reeves in very many movies going forward, because studios may not be willing to have him in if they're not going to get those China dollars. So it's going to take fans like us to kind of say, look, no, we want more Keanu. Now, we've had a lot of Keanu, and if we don't get more, then we got a lot to watch. But you got to just throw mad respect at him for standing up for what he believes, even though it's against what Hollywood is doing.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly. Well, good for you, Keanu. You keep it up, my dudes.
You keep being the best Keanu there is.
You keep being the absolute best Keanu. You know what? I think Keanu needs a little Popcast tribute. Let me just...
Archmage Frey, 2 rants in a row. Oh boy. This is why STD takes mental health breaks every 5 minutes. That's right, man. Gotta have a mental health break, right? The ships can, although in Discovery when Stamets is like freaking out because the computer can basically kill them all, and like now it has control of the entire ship. Like, to me, like, Stamets was the only one that made any sense at that moment.
Yeah. I watched the episode. I was like, why is everyone taking this so lightheartedly?
Right.
Why is the only person that cares about this Stamets?
It's like Hal from 2001, Space Odyssey, right?
Yeah. So listen, guys, before we leave this story, it's from the bottom of my heart, Keanu, you're a boss.
Nice.
We love you. You keep being you, dude. Okay.
That's party on, Wayne.
Party on, dude.
Wrong one.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. Party on, dude.
There you go.
Whoa. All right. It's a hilarious picture of Keanu. I'm gonna keep that. What's next, man?
Well, I want to know if Daniel's hot topics here is being sarcastic. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, I'm afraid there will be no more Matrix movies. That
might not be a bad thing.
I'm like, I don't want there to be any more Matrix movies. After the last one I saw.
Oh, the last one. Oh my god.
No, we're not gonna go there.
Hey, before we go further, guys, please do me a favor, because whether you're watching live right now or you're watching after the fact, if you are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. And you know what? Hit the like button if you can. Also, can you tell a friend? Because we are so freaking close to 1,000 subs. I'm sorry, I have hiccups. We are like 60 away.
We're close. We're finally going to get there.
So close. So if you can hook us up, and you haven't already done it, please do so.
It's funny. I thought, man, we must know 60 people who would subscribe to our channel. They're like, we've already done it.
All right. What's next, dude?
Let's see. Oh, we've got. I think we're about out of time.
Oh, we're out of time. Oh. Okay. Well, we're not
out of time.
What's that?
We're like out of time for what we got going on.
Yeah, so we have a few more stories, but we are going to continue those stories in the members section.
So so we're literally only supposed to do this for like an hour, and it's been 2. So it's time to go over to the members section, and we do have some great stuff to talk about in the members section. Listen, we're going to be talking about Scott Bakula wanted to do Quantum Leap, and NBC didn't want him. I specifically spoke to somebody inside Scott Bakula's camp, and I'm going to tell you about that here in a few minutes so you can hear that. And it's not out. Nobody else is talking about it. This is the first place that you're ever going to hear it right here. The one ring to delete them all. Amazon deletes more than 22,000 Rings of Power comments on their Ring of Power video. Obi Wan Kenobi series is going to give us a deeper, different Darth Vader than we've ever seen before. It might be a little shocking. We're going to go into that too. So if you're a member, stay tuned. If you're not a member, please consider becoming one. We do content every week. And we actually have more content coming if you guys want more breaking news and things like that, right, Brian?
Yes, and I have put the link in the chat. The link is also in the description, and the link that's flashing on your screen right now, that will take you to the members video where we're going to continue with these last 3 stories. We would love to see you guys over there if you can. If you're already a member and you're watching live here, awesome. Come on over, finish the stream with us, and let's have some fun. If you aren't going to be a member, that's cool. We'll see you guys next week or tomorrow or whatever. We have a video coming out tomorrow, so all that good stuff. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button. All the typical YouTuber stuff that we say. But the link is in the description, the link is in the chat, and the link is now on the screen. And we are going to the members section. We'll see you there.
We love you guys. We love you guys so much.
Okay. Members section time, and we're over here. Sure.
Are we? We're in. Okay, so we're in members now.
We're doing it live. We're doing it live.
Well, now that we're here, members, I just want to say thank you for helping us reach on our Popcast Prime channel 90,000 subscribers.
Woo!
It happened today.
Yep.
Yeah, we hit 90,000 subscribers today. We are getting so close to that 100,000 subscriber mark that we're trying to get there so we can get our play button and get to that next level of YouTube success, and we owe it all to you guys.
I just want that damn play button. So bad.
We're gonna have to figure out how to get 2.
No, you can. So when you get the play button thing, you get you sign up for it. You sign up to where it's going. You can pay a little extra money to get 2.
Oh, really?
You can get an extra one because a lot of people do YouTube with multiple people.
You can never contact YouTube, so it'll be interesting to see how we're gonna do that. But we gotta both have.
We're gonna get a form. We're gonna get a link and a form or something in the mail. We're gonna fill that form out, and it's gonna be like, hey, for another $30, you want to get another one or whatever. That's what someone told me.
Yeah. Did you notice the difference behind me?
I did.
Did you notice?
I did. I don't know what's going on. But I see you making an effort, and that's what matters.
Come on, dog. I got behind me, I've got my little tchotchkes, right? And I've got all my stuff. You can see it back there. Look at it. Usually my background is not great.
That's fair.
But I have put effort into this one.
You have.
And look, I got our clock up. Can you see it up there? Oh, you can't see it on the screen.
Yeah, you're doing good, man. Proud of you.
Come on, man. I'm trying.
Proud of you,